Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. People subconsciously look for archetypes. And I say it subconsciously. People don't realize, like when people say, well, I want this type of person, you know, guys will say, well, I want a good wifey type or a good cheat type or something. Yeah, I'm gonna get into cheating in the next episode. Whatever. But people ain't really looking for people. Now, part of this is influenced by what people have within them. I talked last sit-down episode about subconsciously what people will have within them. But the thing is, sometimes that's put in place. See, when I say archetypes, people aren't looking for that person. Like when you get women who say they're looking for an attorney or they're looking for a doctor, they ain't looking for the person. The person could be evil and not even right for them. They looking for that archetype, you know? They looking for that archetype. People are like that, you know, programmed a certain type of person. They think they're going to get something. You know, when women say, you know, they want this person that acts like this, you know, it like one thing, even a lot of people using like the Chad and Tyrone thing, those are archetypes. Those are archetypes. But people are looking for those archetypes. Like I talked in the last sit-down episode about people looking for what's within them, particularly women looking for what's in them. Well, what's in them, that's not always coming from within them, but programmed within them. It was like even physical appearance. When you have some people, some fashion people, some modeling people, magazine editors, when they promote a certain type of image, all of a sudden you start looking up, people start looking for that. In fact, let me use one example. Like right now, that real slim woman is promoted, but then, and you get a lot of guys to look for it, but there was a time when a more thicker type of woman was promoted, you know, a more thicker type. If you look at like, she was as nearby as the 50s or something, you know, or if you look at artwork from like centuries ago, it was always a thicker type of woman. See, it changes. Even in, you know, it's a matter of culture, everything else, you know, certain looks. That's why you got a lot of guys who might have tattoos and something, you know, that's an archetype right there. That's an archetype. Now, it's very important. Now, sometimes these archetypes, they're good for you, but sometimes they're not. The problem is a lot of people get programmed to look for a certain person, and that person might not be compatible with who they really are. But they take it within them, and they'll say, you know, they get programmed to look for this and say, oh, this is good. Like when you get some women who say, well, you know, you get some black women who say, well, I'm gonna get me a white guy. And you know, but see, they're really looking for the archetype. They're looking for a guy they think is good for them, you know, is going to take care of them and everything. That's not always the case. Or you get some people, some women of other races looking for that black man, but instead of looking at him as the way he really is and who he is, they're looking for a stereotype. They're looking for a BBC. They looking for a BBC. That's why I've told some brothers, I say, you know, make sure that woman of another race ain't looking for a fetish. But she's really looking for an archetype. She's been programmed to think, oh, if I get this guy, he's gonna have this big old schlong and he's gonna behave a certain way. And I've seen instances where that's happened. Like there's plenty of men and women. I got a few women who follow this channel. That man ain't really looking for who you are. They looking for the archetype, you know, and it's automatic programming. That's why, you know, it's important how you dress and everything, because people want to look for a certain archetype, how you dress, how you like groom yourself, all of that. People looking for an archetype. Like I said a couple weeks ago in a video, you know, your style is your power. Now, people who've seen me, they, you know, I have to shout out Master Teacher BGS. He could see, oh, okay, he changing his stuff. That's because I know how people think. You know, when I'm doing a car video, it's different from when I'm doing a video in front of my bookcase, or even a video here, and I'll look different. That's because I know people, if they look at me and I'm dressed a certain way, looking a certain way, they're gonna respond a certain way. Because I know they already programmed to have certain ideas. Like I've known when people have seen me driving, they'll think, oh man, he's just a blue collar guy, he's just up there. But then when I'm doing something in front of my bookcase, they see something like on my Deep Thought channel, I always do them in front of my bookcase. There's a certain look and they're like, oh, okay. But also do my money channel. I do my money channel in my office. So it's, you know, it got an office look to it, just a plain office look to it. But what I'm tapping into is a person's archetype, what they'll think. They'll look at stuff differently. They're gonna look at my money videos differently from how they look at my car videos, right? So that's a thing, but a lot of people, most people aren't aware of that though. Like I said, some of it's within already, but some of it's been programmed by different factors, particularly the media. They'll say, oh, you gotta look like this. Because even on TV shows or movies or something, there's always a certain archetype. There's always a certain archetype presented of different type of people and everything, but that's also programming, you know? So a lot of people, unless people get conscious of it and say, no, I ain't gonna look for that archetype. I'm dealing with the real. I'm dealing with the real. I'm being authentic. They gonna look for the archetypes. And then on another angle, when somebody meets somebody, a man or a woman meets somebody and they don't match the archetype, they sit there figuring out like, what's up with him? They can't figure it out, you know? Like I use an example, being a black man. A lot of people can't figure me out. They think they can, but I'm like, no. Because I don't always match an archetype. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, you know? Like on here, I remember when I was doing some stuff, working on a project in Atlanta. It was that film I was in, No More Mr. Nice Guy and everything. And I never forget, dude said, you know, you come off one way when you like doing your videos, but we were hanging out in some of the roughest areas and he saw how comfortable I was. And I was like, I can do the levels like that. But the archetypes, it's that archetype thing. Now, when I see archetypes myself, I say, oh, okay, they matching that. Or somebody going against it, it was like, oh. You know, I would always say, like, really become conscious of who you dealing with. Are you dealing with them or are you dealing with the archetype? You know, a lot of fellas especially, you know, be talking about modern women and everything. Are you dealing with the woman? Because there's plenty of women who don't match that modern woman archetype out there. There's plenty of them. Are you dealing with a modern woman or are you dealing with her? Because her might be totally different. I've known plenty of women, they go against what all these archetypes presented on social media. I know plenty of them actually, because I take them one at a time, you know? And of course I know some who will try to match it. It's like, oh, yeah, okay. I see, but who are you really, you know? So, but this is something to think about. Really think about who you dealing with and what you following, all right? So anyway, that's all I have for right now. I'll get back with y'all. Peace. Ooh, yeah, get my shirt down. God damn. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all. Peace and blessings.